Hello, my beautiful friend. I want you to take a moment right now and just breathe with me. In through your nose, filling your lungs completely, and out through your mouth, releasing everything you don't need. Good. I know that you're here because something inside you is calling for change, for something more, for a different relationship with money and abundance. And I want you to know that this calling, this deep desire for financial freedom and prosperity is not selfish or wrong. It's actually your soul speaking to you, telling you that you deserve so much more than struggle and worry. I understand how heavy it can feel to carry financial stress, the sleepless nights, the constant calculations in your head, the way your stomach tightens when bills arrive or when you think about your future. I've been there too, and I want you to know that these feelings are valid. Your concerns are real, and your desire for change is not only understandable but necessary for your growth and happiness. Money touches every aspect of our lives, and when we're struggling financially, it affects our health, our relationships, our ability to dream and create. But today, we're going to begin shifting all of that. What we're going to explore together is not about getting rich quick or finding some magical secret that wealthy people are hiding from the rest of us. This is about healing your relationship with money from the inside out. It's about understanding that abundance is your natural state, and that the techniques and mindset shifts we'll discuss are the same ones that wealthy individuals have been using, often without even realizing it, to create and maintain their prosperity. The difference is we're going to do this consciously, with love, and with deep respect for the profound transformation that's about to unfold in your life. I want to create a safe space here for us to talk honestly about money. For many of us, money has been a source of shame, fear, or guilt. We've been taught that wanting money makes us greedy, that spiritual people shouldn't care about material things, or that we must choose between being good people and being wealthy. These beliefs have kept so many beautiful souls trapped in cycles of lack and limitation. But today, we're releasing all of that. Today, we're choosing to see money as a tool for good, as energy that can flow through us to create positive change in our lives and in the world. As we begin this journey together, I want you to set an intention, not a goal, but an intention. Feel into your heart and ask yourself what financial freedom would really mean for you. Perhaps it's the ability to care for your loved ones without stress. Maybe it's having the resources to pursue your passions or to contribute to causes you believe in. It could be as simple as feeling peaceful when you check your bank account, or being able to make choices based on what feels right rather than what you can afford. Whatever comes up for you, hold that feeling gently in your heart. This is your why, your deeper motivation for transformation. The beautiful truth is that the universe wants you to prosper. Abundance is not a limited resource that you need to fight for or feel guilty about receiving. When you prosper, when you're financially free and secure, you're actually contributing to the prosperity of everyone around you. You become a source of generosity, creativity, and positive energy. You show others what's possible. You break family patterns of limitation and create new possibilities for future generations. Now let's talk about how wealthy people think, because this is where everything begins. The difference between those who struggle financially and those who thrive isn't luck, inheritance, or even education, though these can certainly help. The real difference lies in how they think about money, abundance, and their own worthiness to receive. Wealthy individuals operate from what we call an abundance consciousness. This means they genuinely believe that there's enough for everyone, that opportunities are everywhere, and that money is simply energy that flows naturally when we're aligned with it. When someone with an abundance mindset encounters a financial challenge, they don't panic or assume the worst. Instead, they ask themselves questions like, "What opportunity is this situation showing me?" Or, "How can I use this experience to grow and improve?" They see temporary setbacks as information, not as proof that they're destined to struggle. This isn't about being unrealistic or ignoring real problems. It's about maintaining a perspective that allows solutions to emerge naturally. Wealthy people also understand that money is attracted to value. They focus on what they can give, create, or contribute rather than on what they lack or need. This shift from "what can I get" to "what can I give" changes everything. When you're thinking about how you can serve others, how you can solve problems, or how you can make life better for people around you, you naturally become more valuable in the marketplace. Money flows toward value, toward service, toward solutions. Another crucial aspect of the wealthy mindset is the relationship with time. While those who struggle often think in terms of immediate needs and short-term fixes, wealthy individuals think in longer time frames. They understand that building real wealth is a process, not an event. They're willing to plant seeds today that may not bear fruit for months or years. This doesn't mean they ignore their present needs, but they balance immediate concerns with long-term vision. They make decisions based on where they want to be, not just where they are right now. Wealthy people also have a different relationship with risk. Instead of trying to avoid all risks, they learn to take calculated risks. They understand that security doesn't come from avoiding change or playing it safe, but from developing the skills, mindset, and resources to handle whatever comes their way. They invest in themselves, in their education, in their personal growth, because they know that the best investment they can make is in their own capacity to create value. Perhaps most importantly, wealthy individuals truly believe they deserve prosperity. This isn't arrogance or entitlement. It's a deep knowing that they are worthy of good things, that abundance is their birthright, and that receiving wealth doesn't take anything away from others. They've released the guilt and shame that many of us carry around money. They don't apologize for their success or downplay their achievements. They own their prosperity with grace and gratitude. But here's what I want you to understand. These aren't special traits that some people are born with and others aren't. These are learned ways of thinking that anyone can develop. Every single wealthy person had to learn these mindset shifts at some point. Some learned them early from families who modeled abundance consciousness. Others, like many of us, had to unlearn limiting beliefs and consciously choose new ways of thinking about money and success. The transformation from scarcity thinking to abundance consciousness isn't always easy, but it's absolutely possible. It requires patience with yourself, consistent practice, and a willingness to question the money beliefs you've been carrying. When you notice yourself thinking thoughts like money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy, or I'll never have enough, you can gently redirect your mind toward more empowering beliefs. Instead of fighting these old thoughts, simply acknowledge them and choose to think differently. This is where we begin the real work of transformation. Before we can manifest money, before we can create lasting prosperity, we need to heal the wounded places in our relationship with abundance. For most of us, these wounds go deep. They were formed in childhood when we absorbed our family's beliefs about money, often without even realizing it. We picked up on the stress our parents felt about finances, the arguments they had about spending, the fear in their voices when they talked about money. Even if our families meant well, even if they worked hard to provide for us, we may have internalized beliefs that money is scarce, that we have to struggle to earn it, or that wanting financial security makes us selfish. These old patterns are stored not just in our minds, but in our bodies. When we think about money, when we face financial challenges, our bodies respond with the same stress patterns we learned as children. Our shoulders tense, our breathing becomes shallow, our stomachs knot up. We go into survival mode, and from that place, it's almost impossible to make clear, empowered decisions about money. We react instead of respond. We make choices based on fear instead of wisdom. The beautiful thing about this healing work is that once we become aware of these patterns, once we shine the light of consciousness on them, they begin to lose their power over us. We can start to separate our current financial reality from the old stories we've been telling ourselves. We can begin to see that our past doesn't have to determine our future, and that the financial struggles of our families don't have to be our struggles too. One of the most common money blocks I see is the belief that we don't deserve abundance. This often shows up as a quiet voice in the back of our minds that says things like, "Who am I to have money when others are struggling?" Or, "Good people don't care about material things," or, "I haven't earned the right to be wealthy." These beliefs feel noble and selfless, but they actually keep us stuck in patterns of limitation that serve no one. When we're struggling financially, we can't help others the way we want to. We can't contribute to causes we care about. We can't model prosperity and possibility for the people who look up to us. Another common block is the fear that having money will change us for the worse. We worry that prosperity will make us selfish, that we'll lose our values or become disconnected from others who have less. This fear often comes from observing wealthy people who seem cold or disconnected, and we unconsciously decide that money must have caused their lack of compassion. But money doesn't change who we are at our core. It simply amplifies the qualities we already have. If we're generous and kind-hearted people, having more money will allow us to be even more generous and kind. If we're shallow or self-centered, money might amplify those traits too. But the money itself isn't the problem or the solution. There's also the block around deserving, which goes even deeper than worthiness. This is the belief that life is supposed to be hard, that struggle builds character, and that if things come too easily, they're not real or won't last. This belief keeps us in cycles of self-sabotage, where we unconsciously create problems or obstacles just when things start going well. We pull back from opportunities because they feel too good to be true. We find ways to complicate simple solutions because we don't trust that prosperity can be natural and flowing. The process of releasing these blocks isn't about forcing yourself to believe something that doesn't feel true. It's about gently questioning the beliefs you've been carrying and opening to new possibilities. When you notice a limiting thought about money, you can ask yourself, is this really true? Where did I learn this belief? Is it serving me now? Often you'll find that these beliefs made sense in the context where you learned them, but they're no longer relevant to your current life and goals. As we release these old patterns, it's important to be gentle with ourselves. These beliefs were formed when we were young and vulnerable, and they served a purpose at the time. They helped us fit in with our families, avoid disappointment, or feel safe in uncertain circumstances. We don't need to judge ourselves for having them or force ourselves to change overnight. Healing happens in layers, in waves, in its own perfect timing. Sometimes the most profound healing happens when we simply acknowledge what we've been carrying. You might want to take a moment now to place your hand on your heart and say, "Thank you, old beliefs, for trying to protect me. I release you now with love and choose to open to new possibilities." This isn't about rejecting your past or pretending that your experiences weren't real. It's about honoring what was while making space for what can be. The body holds so much wisdom in this healing process. When we're working with money blocks, we can actually feel where they live in our physical bodies. Scarcity often feels tight and constricted. We might notice tension in our jaw from gritting our teeth through financial stress, or knots in our shoulders from carrying the weight of financial responsibility. Our breathing might become shallow when we think about money, or we might feel a heavy sensation in our chest or stomach. These physical sensations are information, and they're also doorways to healing. When you notice these bodily responses to money thoughts, you can breathe into those areas and send them love. You can imagine golden light flowing into the tense places, softening and relaxing them. You can gently massage your shoulders or place both hands on your heart and breathe deeply. This isn't just relaxation, though that's wonderful too. This is actually rewiring your nervous system's response to money and abundance. You're teaching your body that thinking about money can feel safe and peaceful. One of the most powerful ways to release old money patterns is through forgiveness. This might mean forgiving your parents for the financial stress they carried or the money beliefs they passed down to you. It might mean forgiving yourself for past financial mistakes or for holding on to limiting beliefs for so long. It might mean forgiving others who you feel have wronged you financially, or forgiving a system that seems unfair or stacked against you. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior or pretending that nothing happened. It means releasing the emotional charge around these experiences so they no longer control your present choices. Sometimes people resist the idea of forgiving when it comes to money because they feel like their anger or resentment is justified, and often it is. But holding on to these feelings doesn't hurt the people or systems that cause them. It only hurts us. It keeps us vibrating at a frequency of injustice and limitation, which makes it much harder to attract abundance. When we forgive, we're not doing it for others. We're doing it for ourselves, to free our energy for creating the life we actually want. The healing process is also supported by understanding that your current financial situation doesn't define your worth as a person. Your bank account balance has nothing to do with your value as a human being. You are not your credit score. You are not your debt. You are not your past financial mistakes. You are a magnificent being having a temporary human experience, and that includes temporary financial experiences. Money is something you have or don't have, not something you are or aren't. This distinction is crucial because when we identify with our financial situation, we make it much harder to change. If we think I am poor instead of I currently have limited money, we've made poverty part of our identity. If we think I am financially irresponsible instead of I've made some financial choices I'd like to change, we've made irresponsibility part of who we are. Language matters because it shapes how we see ourselves and what we believe is possible. As we release these old patterns, we also want to be mindful of the people around us. Sometimes when we start changing our money beliefs, others in our lives feel threatened or confused. They might make comments about us getting too big for our britches or becoming money-focused. They might share their own fears about money or try to pull us back into old patterns of thinking. This isn't necessarily malicious. Often it comes from their own fear of being left behind or their concern that we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. The key is to stay centered in your own truth while remaining loving and compassionate toward others. You don't need to convince anyone else to change their money beliefs. You don't need to justify your desire for prosperity or defend your new way of thinking. You can simply hold space for others to be where they are while continuing to grow and heal yourself. Sometimes this means limiting conversations about money with certain people, at least until your new beliefs are more solid. Sometimes it means finding new communities of like-minded people who support your growth. The journey of releasing money blocks is ongoing. It's not something you do once and then you're done. As you grow and evolve, as your capacity for receiving increases, new layers of old patterns may surface to be healed. This is actually a sign that you're expanding, that you're ready for the next level of abundance. Each time you encounter an old pattern, you can greet it with curiosity instead of frustration. You can ask, What is this pattern trying to protect me from? What does it need me to understand before it can relax and let go? The beautiful thing about this work is that as you heal your relationship with money, you're also healing your relationship with receiving in general. You're opening to receive love, opportunities, support, inspiration, and so much more. Money is just one form of abundance, and as you become more comfortable with receiving money, you become more comfortable with receiving all the good that life wants to give you. This healing creates a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. Your relationships improve because you're not carrying the stress and shame of financial struggle. Your health improves because you're not constantly flooding your body with stress hormones related to money worries. Your creativity expands because you're not spending all your mental energy on survival concerns. Your sense of purpose clarifies because you have the emotional bandwidth to think beyond immediate needs and consider how you want to contribute to the world. As we continue this beautiful journey together, I want to talk about something that many people don't fully understand: the profound connection between your body and your money. Your physical body is constantly responding to your thoughts and feelings about abundance, and these responses actually affect your ability to attract and maintain prosperity. When you understand this mind-body connection, when you learn to work with it instead of against it, everything begins to shift in the most wonderful ways. Think about what happens in your body when you're worried about money. Your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. Your shoulders creep up toward your ears. Your jaw clenches. Your stomach churns. Your heart races. These aren't just uncomfortable sensations. They're actually your body's way of preparing for danger. When you're thinking fearful thoughts about money, your nervous system doesn't distinguish between a real physical threat and a financial worry. It responds the same way it would if you were being chased by a wild animal. This stress response floods your body with hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals are designed to help you fight or flee from immediate physical danger, but they're absolutely counterproductive when it comes to making wise financial decisions or attracting abundance. When you're in this stressed state, the creative, intuitive parts of your brain shut down. You can't access your inner wisdom. You can't see opportunities that might be right in front of you. You make decisions from fear instead of from clarity and trust. Over time, chronic financial stress literally rewires your brain and reshapes your body. Your neural pathways become deeply grooved in patterns of worry and scarcity. Your immune system weakens because stress hormones suppress immune function. Your digestion suffers because blood flow is diverted away from your digestive organs. Your sleep becomes disrupted, which affects everything from your mood to your metabolism. Your body begins to hold the posture of someone who is burdened, defeated, or afraid. But here's the miraculous thing. Just as your body responds to thoughts of scarcity and fear, it also responds beautifully to thoughts of abundance and gratitude. When you think prosperous thoughts, when you feel genuinely grateful for what you have, when you trust that you're supported and cared for by the universe, your entire physiology changes. Your breathing deepens and slows, your muscles relax, your posture opens and expands. Your heart rate becomes calm and steady. This relaxed, open state is what we call the abundance frequency. When your body is vibrating at this frequency, you're literally more attractive to opportunities, to helpful people, to creative solutions. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your energy becomes magnetic. People are drawn to you because you radiate peace and confidence instead of worry and need. You make better decisions because you're thinking clearly instead of reacting from fear. The energy of abundance has a completely different quality than the energy of lack. Abundance energy is expansive, flowing, warm, and generous. It moves through you and out into the world, creating positive connections and opportunities. When you're operating from abundance energy, you naturally think thoughts like, "There's enough for everyone, good things are coming to me, and I have so much to be grateful for." Your body feels relaxed, your heart feels open, and your mind feels clear and creative. Lack energy, on the other hand, is contractive, stuck, cold, and grasping. It turns you inward, making you focus on what's missing instead of what's possible. When you're caught in lack energy, you think thoughts like, "There's never enough, I have to struggle for everything, and other people are taking what should be mine." Your body feels tense, your heart feels closed, and your mind feels foggy and reactive. The beautiful thing is that you can choose which energy you want to embody in any moment. It's not about denying real financial challenges or pretending everything is perfect when it's not. It's about choosing to meet those challenges from a place of strength and trust rather than from fear and desperation. When you're vibrating at the abundance frequency, you handle problems more gracefully, you see solutions more clearly, and you attract help and support more easily. Creating inner harmony for outer prosperity means learning to maintain this abundance frequency even when external circumstances aren't ideal. It means training your nervous system to stay calm and centered regardless of what's happening with your bank account. This takes practice, but it's absolutely learnable. You can literally retrain your body's responses to money thoughts through conscious breathing, meditation, movement, and visualization. One of the most powerful ways to shift your body into abundance frequency is through breath work. When you notice your body contracting with financial worry, you can immediately begin breathing deeply and slowly. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 6. This simple pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest, relaxation, and restoration. As your breathing slows and deepens, your whole body begins to relax and open. You can also use movement to shift your energy. Abundance energy is flowing and graceful, so moving your body in flowing, graceful ways helps you embody that frequency. This might be gentle stretching, dancing to music you love, walking in nature, or even just rolling your shoulders and shaking out your hands. The key is to move with intention, to consciously choose to embody the energy of prosperity through your physical form. Visualization is another powerful tool for creating inner harmony. You can spend a few minutes each day visualizing golden light flowing through your body, starting at the top of your head and moving slowly down through every part of you. As this light moves through you, it dissolves any tension, fear, or resistance you might be holding. You can also visualize yourself surrounded by an abundance of everything you need: love, money, opportunities, support, joy. Feel this abundance not just in your mind, but in your body. Let your cells remember what it feels like to be completely provided for. The mind-body connection with money goes both ways. Just as your thoughts about money affect your body, your physical state affects your thoughts about money. When you take care of your body, when you eat nourishing foods, get adequate sleep, move regularly, and manage stress, you naturally think more positive thoughts about all areas of your life, including money. When you feel good physically, it's easier to believe that good things are possible for you financially. Now let's explore what might be the most important foundation for lasting financial prosperity: your relationship with yourself and your sense of personal worth. This is where so many people get stuck, and it's also where the most profound transformations can happen. The truth is, your outer financial reality is a direct reflection of your inner sense of worthiness. You cannot outpace your self-worth when it comes to money. You cannot maintain a level of prosperity that exceeds your belief in your own value and deserving. This doesn't mean that if you're struggling financially, you're somehow lacking in worth as a person. Your inherent worth as a human being is absolute and unchangeable. You were born worthy of love, happiness, and abundance simply because you exist. But there's a difference between your inherent worth and your felt sense of worthiness. Your felt sense is what you actually believe deep down about whether you deserve good things, whether you're valuable enough to receive abundance, whether you're worthy of the life you dream of having. Many of us grow up with messages that undermine our sense of worthiness. We're told we're too much or not enough. We're criticized for our mistakes and rarely celebrated for our gifts. We learn to earn love and approval through achievement, good behavior, or taking care of others. We develop the belief that our worth is conditional, that we have to prove ourselves worthy of good things, rather than simply receiving them as our birthright. When it comes to money, these worthiness issues show up in countless ways. We undercharge for our services because we don't believe we're valuable enough to command higher prices. We accept less than we want in salary negotiations because we don't feel worthy of asking for more. We sabotage financial opportunities because deep down we don't believe we deserve them. We give money away compulsively because we feel guilty about having it. We overspend because we're trying to fill an inner void or prove our worth through material possessions. The journey to unshakable financial confidence begins with healing your relationship with yourself. It starts with recognizing that your value doesn't come from what you do, what you have, or what others think of you. Your value is intrinsic. It's woven into the fabric of your being. You don't have to earn it, prove it, or defend it. You simply have to remember it and claim it. Self-love is not selfish or narcissistic. It's not about thinking you're better than others or being arrogant about your abilities. True self-love is a deep acceptance and appreciation of yourself exactly as you are right now. It's treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would show to someone you love dearly. It's recognizing your inherent goodness even when you make mistakes or fall short of your own expectations. When you truly love yourself, when you know in your bones that you're worthy of all good things, your relationship with money transforms completely. You no longer feel guilty about wanting financial security. You don't apologize for your success or downplay your achievements. You don't settle for less than you deserve in any area of your life. You make financial decisions from a place of self-respect rather than from fear or desperation. Building this unshakable sense of self-worth takes time and practice. It's like developing a muscle that may have been weak or neglected for years, but every small act of self-love, every moment of self-compassion, every time you choose to honor your own needs and desires, you're strengthening this muscle. You're rewiring your neural pathways to support your worthiness rather than undermine it. One of the most powerful practices for building self-worth is what Louise called mirror work. This involves looking into your own eyes in a mirror and speaking words of love and appreciation to yourself. It might feel awkward or even painful at first, especially if you're not used to acknowledging your own value. But persist with this practice. Start with simple statements like, "I love you," or "You are enough," or "You deserve good things." Notice what resistance comes up and greet it with gentleness. Another essential practice is learning to receive compliments, help, gifts, and opportunities gracefully. Many people who struggle with self-worth have a hard time receiving. They deflect compliments, insist on paying their own way even when others offer to treat them, and turn down help even when they need it. Learning to receive is actually a form of self-love. When you allow others to give to you, you're honoring your own worthiness and theirs. Your personal value extends far beyond any monetary measurement. You bring unique gifts to the world that no one else can bring. Your perspective, your experiences, your way of caring for others, your creative expression, your problem-solving abilities, your capacity for love. These are invaluable contributions that can't be quantified in dollars and cents. When you truly understand and appreciate the value you bring simply by being yourself, it becomes natural to expect that value to be reflected in your financial life. The confidence to receive abundance comes from this deep knowing of your own worth. When you believe you deserve prosperity, when you expect good things to come to you, when you feel worthy of support and assistance from the universe, you naturally begin to attract more abundance. You start to notice opportunities you might have missed before. You find the courage to ask for what you want. You make choices that honor your value rather than diminish it. This confidence isn't about being pushy or demanding. It's about being calm and centered in your knowing that you belong in the realm of prosperity. It's about moving through the world with the quiet assurance that you're worthy of all the abundance that life has to offer. When you embody this confidence, others feel it too. They're more likely to offer you opportunities, to pay you what you're worth, to treat you with respect and appreciation. Now that we've established this foundation of self-worth, let's explore the specific daily practices that wealthy individuals use to maintain their prosperity consciousness and attract ongoing abundance. These aren't just occasional exercises or wishful thinking sessions. These are consistent, intentional practices that successful people weave into the fabric of their everyday lives. When you adopt these practices and make them your own, you begin to think, feel, and act like the wealthy person you're becoming. The first and perhaps most powerful practice is visualization, but not the vague, occasional daydreaming that many people think of when they hear this word. Wealthy individuals practice very specific, detailed, emotionally engaging visualization on a regular basis. They don't just think about having money, they create vivid mental experiences of already living their desired financial reality. They see themselves in their ideal home, feel the satisfaction of looking at a healthy bank account, experience the joy of being able to give generously to causes they care about. The key to effective visualization is involving all your senses and emotions. Instead of just picturing yourself with more money, you create a complete sensory experience. You see the environment you're in, hear the sounds around you, feel the textures and temperatures, smell the scents, even taste whatever you might be enjoying in this abundant reality. Most importantly, you feel the emotions of already having achieved this level of prosperity, the peace, the confidence, the gratitude, the joy. Successful people often visualize first thing in the morning and last thing before sleep, when the mind is most receptive to new programming. They might spend just 10 or 15 minutes in this practice, but they do it consistently. They also visualize throughout the day, especially before important meetings, negotiations, or any situation where they want to embody their most prosperous self. Another cornerstone practice is gratitude, but again, this isn't just a casual "thanks for what I have" mindset. Wealthy individuals practice what we might call strategic gratitude. They consciously appreciate not only what they currently have, but also what's flowing toward them. They give thanks for opportunities before they fully manifest, for money before it arrives, for abundance in all its forms. This practice of grateful expectation sends a powerful message to the universe that you're ready and open to receive even more. The gratitude practice of successful people is also very specific. Instead of general thankfulness, they appreciate particular aspects of their financial life. They might give thanks for the freedom their money provides, for the opportunities it creates, for the people it allows them to help, for the experiences it makes possible. They appreciate their ability to earn money, their skills and talents that create value, their past selves for making good financial decisions. This specific appreciation amplifies the energy of abundance in their lives. Many wealthy individuals keep gratitude journals where they write down specific things they're grateful for related to money and abundance. This practice serves multiple purposes. It trains the mind to look for abundance rather than lack. It creates a record of good things that can be revisited during challenging times, and it reinforces the feeling of being blessed and supported by life. The daily habits of prosperous people also include what might be called abundance thinking throughout the day. They consciously choose thoughts that support prosperity rather than undermine it. When they see expensive items, instead of thinking, "I can't afford that," they think, "That's beautiful, and there are so many ways abundance flows into my life." When they hear about others' success, instead of feeling envious, they think, "If it's possible for them, it's possible for me too." When they face financial challenges, instead of panicking, they think, "This is temporary and a solution is already on its way." This doesn't mean denying reality or being unrealistic about financial situations. It means choosing the most empowering perspective available in any given moment. It means looking for evidence of abundance rather than evidence of lack. It means training the mind to be an ally in creating prosperity rather than an obstacle. Wealthy people also practice what we might call prosperity decision-making. They make choices throughout the day as if they're already living at their desired level of abundance. This doesn't mean spending money they don't have or making financially irresponsible choices. It means making decisions from the energy of prosperity rather than from the energy of scarcity. They choose quality over quantity when possible. They invest in their growth and education. They surround themselves with beauty and inspiration within their means. They treat themselves and others with the generosity and respect that prosperity consciousness embodies. Another powerful daily practice is what successful people call acting as if. They embody the energy and behaviors of their wealthy future self in their current circumstances. They dress well within their budget. They carry themselves with confidence. They speak about money and opportunities with positivity and expectation. They handle their current money, however much or little it is, with respect and care. They organize their financial documents. They educate themselves about money and investing. They network with other success-minded people. They take care of their health and well-being as if they're already the prosperous person they're becoming. Many wealthy individuals also practice what might be called abundance sharing. Even when they're in the building stages of their wealth, they find ways to give and share with others. This might be donating small amounts to causes they believe in, helping friends and family when possible, sharing their knowledge and expertise, or simply being generous with their time, attention, and encouragement. This practice keeps the energy of money flowing and reinforces the belief that there's always enough to share. The wealthy also make it a daily practice to learn and grow in areas related to money and success. They read books about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and mindset. They listen to podcasts or watch videos from successful people. They attend seminars or workshops when possible. They seek mentors or coaches who can guide their growth. They understand that investing in their own education and development is one of the most profitable investments they can make. Perhaps most importantly, successful people make it a daily practice to stay connected to their why, their deeper purpose for wanting financial abundance. They regularly remind themselves of what financial freedom will allow them to do, experience, and contribute. This isn't about materialism or status. It's about the deeper values and purposes that money can help them fulfill. They might want to travel and experience different cultures, to support their children's education, to start a foundation, to have the freedom to pursue their passions, or simply to feel secure and peaceful about their future. These daily practices work because they create what we might call a prosperity environment in your mind, emotions, and energy field. When you consistently think abundant thoughts, feel grateful emotions, and take prosperity-aligned actions, you begin to vibrate at the frequency of wealth, and the law of attraction responds to vibration more than to circumstances. You start to attract people, opportunities, ideas, and resources that match your new energetic signature. The beautiful thing about these practices is that they create positive results even before your external financial situation changes dramatically. When you're visualizing abundance, practicing gratitude, and acting as if, you feel better immediately. You feel more hopeful, more confident, more at peace. Your relationships improve because you're operating from a place of abundance rather than lack. Your health improves because you're reducing stress and increasing positive emotions. Your creativity flows more freely because you're not constantly worried about survival. Now that you understand these foundational principles and daily practices, let's move into the practical manifestation work itself. This is where we take everything we've discussed and put it into action through specific exercises and techniques that you can use immediately to begin shifting your financial reality. These aren't just mental exercises, they're powerful tools that work with both your conscious and subconscious mind to align you with abundance at the deepest levels. The first step in any effective manifestation process is getting crystal clear about what you actually want. Most people think they know what they want financially, but when pressed for details, they realize their desires are quite vague. I want more money, or I want to be rich, isn't specific enough for the universe to work with effectively. The universe responds to clarity, specificity, and emotional engagement. So we're going to get very clear about your financial desires, not just the numbers, but the feelings and experiences those numbers will create. Begin by writing down specific financial goals, but don't just focus on amounts. Think about what that money will allow you to do, feel, and experience. Maybe you want to earn an additional $1,000 per month so you can feel secure about your basic expenses and have some left over for fun activities. Perhaps you want to save $50,000 so you can feel confident about your future and have options if unexpected opportunities arise. Or maybe you want to build a business that generates enough income for you to work from home and spend more time with your family. The key is to connect with the emotional essence of what you want. Money itself is neutral. It's what money represents and enables that matters. Freedom, security, choice, contribution, adventure, comfort, peace of mind. These are the real desires behind our financial goals. When you're clear about the feelings and experiences you want to create, the universe has multiple ways to deliver them, not just through the specific financial avenue you might be imagining. Once you're clear about your desires, the next step is to create what we call a manifestation practice. This is a regular time, ideally daily, when you focus completely on aligning yourself with your financial goals. This isn't about begging the universe or trying to force outcomes. It's about creating a sacred space where you can connect with the feeling of already having what you desire and sending that vibration out into the world. Your manifestation practice might begin with a few minutes of deep breathing to center yourself and release any stress or tension from your day. Then you can move into visualization, but make it as real and detailed as possible. If you want to manifest a certain amount of money, don't just imagine numbers on a screen. Imagine what you'll do when that money arrives. See yourself paying bills with ease and joy. Feel the satisfaction of moving that money into your savings account. Experience the happiness of being able to buy something special for someone you love or donate to a cause you care about. The most powerful manifestation happens when you can genuinely feel grateful for what you're manifesting, as if it has already happened. This isn't about pretending or lying to yourself about your current circumstances. It's about accessing the emotional state you'll be in when your desire manifests and living in that state now, even before the external evidence appears. When you can feel truly thankful for money that hasn't arrived yet, you're sending a powerful signal to the universe that you're ready and open to receive it. Affirmations can be a beautiful part of your manifestation practice when used correctly. The key is to choose affirmations that feel true or at least possible to you right now. If you're struggling financially and you try to affirm, "I am a millionaire," your subconscious mind will likely reject this as false, which creates internal conflict rather than alignment. Instead, choose affirmations that stretch you gently toward your goals. You might affirm, "Money flows to me easily and joyfully," or "I am open to receiving abundance in all forms," or "Every day I am becoming more prosperous." The power of affirmations increases dramatically when you say them while looking into your own eyes in a mirror. This creates a deeper connection between your conscious intention and your subconscious programming. It also helps you practice receiving love and positive messages, which is essential for receiving financial abundance. If mirror work feels too intense at first, you can start by writing your affirmations or saying them silently during meditation. Visualization and affirmations become even more powerful when combined with physical movement. You might speak your affirmations while walking in nature, allowing the rhythm of your steps to reinforce the rhythm of your words. You could dance while visualizing your abundant life, letting your body express the joy and freedom you're manifesting. You might do gentle stretching or yoga while imagining golden light filling your body and attracting prosperity to you. Another essential element of practical manifestation is what we call inspired action. Manifestation isn't just about thinking and feeling. It also requires you to take steps in the physical world that align with your desires. But this isn't about forcing or pushing. Inspired action feels natural and exciting. It's action that flows from your aligned state rather than from fear or desperation. When you're consistently practicing visualization, affirmations, and gratitude, you'll start to notice intuitive promptings about actions you can take. You might feel inspired to update your resume, research a new income opportunity, organize your financial papers, or reach out to someone who might be able to help you. These impulses feel different from fear-based actions. They feel light, expansive, and full of possibility, rather than heavy, contracted, and urgent. The key is to act on these inspirations quickly, before your logical mind can talk you out of them. Your intuition is constantly picking up on opportunities and possibilities that your conscious mind might miss. When you follow these inner promptings, you often find that they lead to exactly the right people, situations, or information at exactly the right time. It's also important to create what we might call manifestation accountability. This could mean writing down your goals and reviewing them regularly, sharing your intentions with a supportive friend, or working with a coach or mentor who can help you stay focused and motivated. Having external accountability helps you maintain your practices even when you don't feel like it or when doubt creeps in. Some people find it helpful to create visual reminders of their financial goals. This might be a vision board with pictures that represent your desired lifestyle, or simply writing your goals on note cards and placing them where you'll see them regularly. These visual cues help keep your subconscious mind focused on what you're creating rather than on what you're lacking. The manifestation process is also supported by taking excellent care of your current money, however much or little you have. Treat your money with respect and appreciation. Keep your wallet or purse organized and clean. Pay your bills with gratitude rather than resentment. Balance your accounts regularly. This isn't about being obsessive. It's about demonstrating to the universe that you're a good steward of money and ready to handle more. Even the most committed and skilled manifestors encounter setbacks, challenges, and periods when it seems like nothing is working. This is absolutely normal and doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or that manifestation doesn't work for you. In fact, how you handle these difficult periods often determines whether you ultimately succeed in creating lasting financial transformation or give up and return to old patterns of struggle and limitation. The first thing to understand about financial setbacks is that they're often part of the manifestation process rather than evidence that it's not working. Sometimes the universe needs to clear out old patterns, relationships, or situations that are no longer serving your highest good before it can bring in the new abundance you're requesting. A job loss might feel devastating in the moment, but it could be making space for a much better opportunity. An unexpected expense might seem like a step backward, but it could be teaching you something important about money management or pushing you to find new sources of income. When you're facing financial challenges, it's crucial to maintain your daily abundance practices even when you don't feel like it. This is actually when these practices are most important. Your logical mind will try to convince you that visualization and affirmations are useless when you're dealing with real problems. But this is exactly when you need to strengthen your connection to prosperity consciousness. The challenges are temporary. Your aligned state of mind is what creates lasting change. During difficult times, it's helpful to remember that your current circumstances are the result of past thoughts, feelings, and actions. What you're thinking and feeling today is creating your future circumstances. So even if your current situation feels discouraging, you can know with certainty that the positive work you're doing now will bear fruit in the near future. You're planting seeds that will grow into the financial garden you desire. One of the most important skills for maintaining alignment during setbacks is learning to separate temporary circumstances from permanent identity. You might be experiencing a temporary cash flow problem, but you are not a person who is destined to struggle with money. You might have made some financial mistakes in the past, but you are not someone who is bad with money. You might be going through a challenging period, but you are not someone who is cursed or unlucky. Keep your temporary experiences in perspective and hold firm to your identity as someone who is worthy of and moving toward prosperity. Faith is essential during these challenging periods, but this isn't blind faith or naive optimism. This is faith based on understanding how the manifestation process works. You know that when you consistently align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with abundance, abundance must manifest. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how. This faith allows you to stay calm and centered even when external circumstances are turbulent. Patient persistence is perhaps the most undervalued quality in manifestation work. Our culture teaches us to expect instant results, but true prosperity consciousness takes time to develop and stabilize. Just like you wouldn't expect to become physically fit after one workout, you can't expect to completely transform your financial reality after one visualization session. The key is to stay consistent with your practices and trust that each day of aligned thinking and feeling is moving you closer to your goals. During setbacks, it's also important to practice extra self-compassion. You might be tempted to judge yourself for not manifesting quickly enough or for encountering obstacles. But this self-criticism only lowers your vibration and slows down the manifestation process. Instead, treat yourself with the same kindness you would show a dear friend who is going through challenges. Remind yourself that you're learning and growing, that every experience is teaching you something valuable, and that you're exactly where you need to be in your journey. Sometimes setbacks reveal limiting beliefs or patterns that you weren't aware of before. A financial challenge might bring up feelings of unworthiness that you thought you had already healed. An unexpected expense might trigger old fears about security that you didn't know were still active. Instead of seeing these revelations as problems, you can welcome them as opportunities for deeper healing. Each layer of old programming that surfaces can be released, making space for even greater abundance to flow into your life. The art of patient persistence also involves learning to celebrate small wins along the way. If you're manifesting a large financial goal, you might not see dramatic changes immediately, but there are usually small improvements and positive signs that indicate you're moving in the right direction. Maybe you find a $20 bill on the street, receive an unexpected refund, or get a small raise at work. These might seem insignificant compared to your larger goals, but they're actually evidence that your manifestation work is creating shifts in your reality. Maintaining faith during challenging times is also supported by remembering that the universe's timing is often different from our preferred timing. You might want your financial situation to improve immediately, but the universe might be orchestrating a series of events that will lead to something much better than what you originally requested. Trust that there's a larger intelligence at work that can see possibilities and connections that you can't see from your current vantage point. Now, let's explore one of the most transformative concepts in money manifestation: learning to live as your wealthy self right now before all the external evidence has appeared. This isn't about spending money you don't have or pretending your current circumstances don't exist. It's about embodying the energy, mindset, and behaviors of your prosperous future self in your current situation. When you can do this authentically, you accelerate the manifestation process dramatically because you're already vibrating at the frequency of wealth. Living as your wealthy self begins with understanding that wealth is primarily an internal state before it becomes an external reality. Wealthy people think differently, feel differently, and behave differently than people who struggle with money. They have a different relationship with abundance, with their own worth, with opportunities, and with the future. When you can adopt these internal qualities while you're building your external wealth, you become a magnet for the prosperity you desire. One of the most noticeable differences in wealthy people is their decision-making process. They make decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. When facing choices, they ask, "What would serve my highest good?" rather than, "What's the cheapest option?" This doesn't mean they're careless with money or that they always choose the most expensive option. It means they consider the long-term value and impact of their choices rather than just the immediate cost. You can start making decisions this way right now, regardless of your current bank balance. When choosing between options, pause and ask yourself, what would my wealthy self choose in this situation? Your wealthy self might choose to invest in higher quality items that will last longer, even if they cost more upfront. Your wealthy self might choose to spend money on experiences that feed your soul rather than on things that just fill up space. Your wealthy self might choose to say no to opportunities that don't align with your values, even if they offer quick money. The wealthy also have a different relationship with their time and energy. They understand that these are their most valuable resources, often more valuable than money itself. They're selective about how they spend their time and with whom they spend it. They prioritize activities that align with their goals and values. They're willing to pay for services that free up their time for more important pursuits. You can begin honoring your time and energy as precious resources immediately. This might mean setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. It could involve saying no to commitments that don't serve your growth or happiness. It might mean investing in tools or services that save you time, even if they cost money up front. When you treat your time and energy as valuable, You send a message to the universe that you're ready to receive compensation that reflects this value. Prosperous people also cultivate relationships differently. They surround themselves with other growth-minded, success-oriented individuals. They seek out mentors and teachers who can help them improve. They're generous with others who are working towards similar goals. They understand that their network affects their net worth, not because they use people, but because they're part of communities that support and elevate each other. You can begin building these types of relationships now. Seek out books, podcasts, or online communities focused on personal growth and financial success. Attend workshops or seminars when possible. Look for opportunities to connect with people who inspire you and who are working toward goals similar to yours. Be the kind of friend and colleague you would want to have, supportive, encouraging, and committed to growth. The way wealthy people carry themselves physically is also distinctive. They have good posture because they feel worthy of taking up space. They make eye contact because they're comfortable with their own value. They dress well within their means because they understand that how they present themselves affects how others perceive and treat them. They move through the world with calm confidence because they trust that they belong in any environment. You can embody these physical qualities starting today. Stand tall and take up space. Make eye contact when you speak with people. Dress as well as you can within your current budget. Walk with purpose and confidence. Speak clearly and don't apologize for your opinions or needs. These physical changes actually change how you feel about yourself, which changes your energy and how others respond to you. Wealthy people also handle money differently on a day-to-day basis. They keep their financial documents organized. They know where their money is and where it's going. They make decisions about spending and investing from a place of clarity rather than emotion. They plan for the future while enjoying the present. They're generous with themselves and others within their means. You can adopt these money management practices regardless of how much money you currently have. Organize your financial paperwork. Track your income and expenses. Set up systems for saving and investing, even if the amounts are small at first. Make spending decisions consciously rather than impulsively. Plan for your financial future while appreciating what you have now. Perhaps most importantly, wealthy people share their abundance freely. They tip well, give to causes they believe in, and help others when they can. They understand that money is energy that needs to flow to grow. They don't hoard their resources out of fear. They circulate them with joy and trust. You can practice this generosity right now at whatever level feels comfortable for you. This might mean leaving a larger tip than usual, donating a small amount to charity, or simply sharing your knowledge and skills with others who could benefit. The amount doesn't matter as much as the energy behind the giving. When you give from a place of abundance rather than obligation, you reinforce your identity as someone who has plenty to share. Living as your wealthy self also means making peace with the time it takes for external changes to catch up with internal changes. You might be embodying wealth consciousness for weeks or months before you see dramatic shifts in your bank account. This is normal and doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Trust the process and focus on how good it feels to think, feel, and act from a place of abundance, regardless of your current circumstances. As we come to the close of our time together, I want you to take a moment and really feel into how much you've already transformed just by listening to these words and opening your heart to new possibilities. The fact that you're here, that you've stayed with me through this entire journey, tells me something beautiful about you. It tells me that you're ready for change, that you're willing to do the inner work necessary for true transformation, and that you have the courage to believe in a better financial future for yourself. What we've explored together today isn't just theory or wishful thinking. These are time-tested principles and practices that have helped countless individuals transform their relationship with money and create lasting prosperity. But more than that, this work transforms every area of your life. When you heal your money beliefs, when you raise your sense of self-worth, when you learn to embody abundance consciousness, you become a more loving partner, a more confident parent, a more creative contributor to the world, and a more joyful human being. The journey we've taken together from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith, from limitation to possibility, is one of the most important journeys you can take in this lifetime. Money affects every single area of your life, and when you get this area flowing smoothly, when you create peace and prosperity in your financial world, everything else becomes easier and more beautiful. I want you to know that you already have everything within you that you need to create the financial life you desire. You have the power to think new thoughts, to feel new feelings, to take new actions. You have the ability to release old patterns that no longer serve you and to embrace new patterns that support your highest good. You have the wisdom to make decisions that honor your worth and move you toward your goals. You have the strength to persist through challenges and the faith to trust in possibilities that you can't yet see. The techniques and practices we've discussed today are your tools, but you are the artist. You get to choose how to use these tools to create the masterpiece of your financial life. Start with whatever feels most comfortable and natural to you. Maybe it's the daily visualization practice, or perhaps it's the mirror work, or it could be simply beginning to notice and shift your thoughts about money throughout the day. Trust your own inner wisdom about where to begin. Remember that transformation happens in layers and in waves. Some days you'll feel completely aligned with abundance consciousness, and money will feel easy and flowing. Other days you might find yourself back in old patterns of worry or scarcity thinking. This is all part of the process. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Each time you notice an old pattern and choose a new response, you're rewiring your brain and your energy field. Each time you practice gratitude instead of complaint, each time you choose faith instead of fear, each time you act from worthiness instead of lack, you're building new neural pathways that support your prosperity. Your financial transformation is not just about you. When you heal your relationship with money, when you step into your power as a prosperous being, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible. You break generational patterns of limitation and create new patterns of abundance for your children and their children. You contribute to raising the consciousness of our entire planet because prosperity consciousness is inherently generous, creative, and loving. The universe is conspiring to support your success in ways that you can't even imagine right now. Opportunities are being prepared for you. People who can help you are being drawn into your life. Resources are aligning to support your dreams. Your job is simply to stay open, to keep practicing these principles, and to trust that everything is working out for your highest good. As you move forward from here, carry with you the knowing that you are worthy of all the abundance that life has to offer. You are worthy of financial freedom, of security, of prosperity, of having more than enough. You are worthy of making decisions based on what you want rather than what you can afford. You are worthy of living without the stress and fear that financial struggle creates. You are worthy of being generous, creative, and free. I want to leave you with one final thought that I'd like you to carry in your heart. You are not separate from abundance. You are made of the same energy that creates abundance throughout the universe. The same creative force that grows flowers and moves tides and creates galaxies is also creating prosperity in your life right now. Trust it. Allow it. Receive it with gratitude and grace. Take a deep breath with me now, and as you exhale, Release any remaining doubt about your ability to create financial transformation. You have everything you need. You are everything you need. Your wealthy, abundant, prosperous life is not just possible. It's inevitable when you align with these principles consistently and lovingly. Go forward with confidence, with joy, and with the absolute knowing that your best financial days are ahead of you. The universe believes in you completely, and I believe in you too. You are so loved, so supported, and so deserving of every good thing that life has to offer. Trust yourself, trust the process, and trust that abundance is your birthright. And remember, every step you take toward healing your relationship with money is a step toward healing your relationship with life itself. You are worthy. You are enough. You are abundant. And so it is.